Does anyone else feel like we are on the verge of like something happening? And what I mean by that is there seems to be a growing sense of unease amongst the population and the globe in general. That like everyone feels this unease, uncertainty that like something is happening in the world and we just don't know what it is or where it's coming from. And every day we wake up, there's just something new to talk about, something bad that's just happened, and there doesn't seem to be any real positivity left in life anymore. Nothing really to look forward to. And in fact, the more I look around, and I spoke about this in my last video, was that people seem to be becoming more introverted and staying indoors. And I myself have noticed that I just seem to be getting more and more of a homebody as time goes on. And every day you open up social media or you look on the internet, there's always bad stuff happening. And I just feel like something is quietly boiling under the surface. It's just we don't know what it is or where it's going to come from. And every time you step outside, everyone seems so angry and so hostile. Everyone seems to just want to be able to have an argument. No one seems happy anymore. Every time we go to the supermarket, it feels like we're just getting scammed out of our money. Bills are becoming so incredibly expensive that people can barely afford to live and eat as well. All these new wars that are going on, it's just one thing after another. And I feel like society is just on a downfall at the moment, and it's like a very steep downfall. And I don't know if we can recover. And if you guys haven't seen my last video or the videos before that, I talk about pretty much all this stuff in general and why I am noticing a shift in people's mentality. People are losing their jobs. People are barely able to live, able to eat, able to keep a roof over their families' heads. And I just feel this growing sense in myself as well that like something has to give eventually. And the problem is, I don't know where it's going to come from. It just feels like a quiet eroding of humanity is happening under the surface of all of this. And it's like all these things that we wake up and we see every single day, from like I've said, new wars and just all these terrible things that are happening that are completely out of our control. Like we have no control over what's happening. And I feel like even though people say, you just need to, what control what's in your control and that's it. But the thing is that everything that is happening around the world today is slowly affecting us, even in the place of peace, like even in our homes. The bills, the petrol prices, the groceries, the services we use, all this stuff is just compounding and compounding into like an absolute shit show. Just like a shit show of enshittification. And no one seems to really know what to do. Everyone's just waking up and just existing, and we're just all trying to navigate through this current climate at the moment where everything just seems to be just getting worse and worse. And like I don't know what to do. And I spoke about this before. I just find myself more and more and more wanting to stay inside the house and like not wanting to interact with anybody. And I just feel like you can't really trust anybody these days. Everyone's really just trying to survive. Everyone's in survivor mode. And I don't think there's nothing more dangerous than something that's in survival mode. And, as time's gone on, like lately I find myself like just buying extra bits of food and extra bits of water just because like I don't know if the shelves are going to be empty. And like, people are just in like an absolute trance that I feel like everyone's just really flooded with information every day, and everyone just seems kind of just like numb to what's going on. But it's like there's a compounding effect where eventually something has to break. And it just feels like every day you just wake up, there's just one more thing that's happening. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. and I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't know what else to do or what else to say. But I know that there are a lot of people out there currently that feel that same sentiment, is that everything just seems to be getting worse in every aspect of our all of our lives. Everything from every step of the way seems to be getting worse, from the human interactions, from the food that we eat, from the services that we use, to the cars that we drive, to just life itself in general just seems to be getting worse. And we live in one of like the most technological advanced times where there's so much convenience and so much ways that life can be so much easier for everybody, and yet everyone seems to be like, we're all just struggling. And I don't know what, like, I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. And I feel this sense of impending doom. And like, I don't know whether it's going to be a natural disaster. I don't know whether it's going to be an economical disaster. I don't know what it's going to be. It just feels like everything's collapsing. And at the moment, we've got band-aids on everything to try to hold everything up. But there's only so much that we can hold, and you know what I mean? And that's the scariest part. We can't see the direction that this is coming from. And I don't know. Like, I'm lost for words. And this has been something that has been growing and growing since 2020. Like, year after year, there's just this decline in life and in general. You know, everyone seems to be just surviving. And the thing is that everyone's in survival mode and we're all struggling to survive. So eventually something has to break. And I know I've said that like 5 times in this video already, but something has to break. It cannot go on like that forever. Society cannot just keep absorbing and absorbing and absorbing all these terrible things without in and of itself collapsing. And that's what truly scares me. And I don't know what else to really do. My only solution, and what my body and my brain and my soul tells me, is just to stay indoors and to really just limit the amount of interaction you have with people. Because as I've said it in previous videos, it's just the quality of human interaction is just at an all-time low. Even though we have the most availability to be able to contact people and talk with people and have conversations and discussions and stuff like that, the quality of the interactions itself has gone down, and everyone's just so quick to want to have an argument. Everyone just wants to argue, and like, I'm just tired. Like, I'm so tired. And I find myself constantly just on social media, and there's just always just a flood of just terrible things that keep happening day to day that's just wearing people out. And like, even as I'm speaking right now, there's probably like just absolute just chaos happening around the world, somewhere in the world. And it's just like, eventually it has to come around. And the thing is that where I am in Australia, like, everything seems okay when you step outside, but eventually, like, something, like, it trickles down into every aspect of the world. And people keep talking about there's like a depression coming, or we're already in one. We're in like a quiet depression, or we're barreling towards a depression. And even though the economy is like not doing too well, even though, you know, people say, oh well, the stock market's at an all-time high, and there's all these other factors that are contributing, you know, to make it seem like the economy's doing well. But if you ask the average person, how are you surviving, like, a lot of times that they're struggling. Like, they'll often tell you, if you just gather 10 people, 9 out of those 10 people will say that they are struggling and they don't know what else to do to make ends meet. You know, that's not a good ratio. And, you know, these companies that just keep putting their prices up again and again and again, and, you know, they're trying to recoup their losses, but at the same time, they're pushing more people away. And then that, you know, company doesn't have record profits. It looks terrible for the stock market. But the stock market keeps going. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just all these things linked together in one chain. And I don't know whether the economy is headed towards an absolute crash. I don't know whether the society is headed towards a collapse. I don't know whether like we're on the brink of war. Like it just everything just seems to just be get really hectic at the moment. And like, you know, I was never a religious person, but I just pray. I really just pray that like there are better days ahead of us, you know. And I know there's an old saying that every day above ground is a good day, but like even just existing above ground costs a lot of money. Just the moment you walk out your front door, you're spending like at minimum $50. So you know what I mean, guys? Like I know it sounds like I'm going in circles, but it's like the reason why I'm going in circles is because I can't definitively point to something that is causing this. It's just like a compounding effect and a combination of all these things that is happening at once that contributes to this overall feeling of just unease amongst the population. And I don't know what else to do. And the only thing that my soul, my body, and my brain is telling me is just to stay indoors and just keep your head on a swivel. Like every direction that is like that it can come from, you can't be certain. So there's just this growing sense of unease, I feel like, amongst a lot of people, that something is off and something is coming. No one knows where it's coming from, and nobody knows what to do. And I feel like the only natural instinct of people is just to introversion is to become more introverted, to escape. So I really hope I'm wrong, but all signs point to like something's coming. Like there just has to be a breaking point, and none of us know where that is, and that's the scariest part, is the not knowing. But anyway, guys, with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if this video resonated with you. Let me know your opinions. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. I love you all. Bye bye.